What is up, ladies and gentlemen? What is up? It is almost Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. This is our last fixture before Christmas. Thus, the spirit, I had to go all in. And then it'll be all over. It'll be all over Christmas time. So, let's get right into it. If you do enjoy, please drop a like and subscribe. That would be great. This, as you can see, it says 12:20 because I'm recording this the day prior. Will not have time to record on Friday, so I'm pre-recording this and hopefully, whatever comes out in the press conference. I was gonna say Jose's press conference, but it's bloody Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I've talked about it since he's been appointed. He's the caretaker manager, and I'm absolutely loving it. Welcome back, Ole. Oh my goodness. It's all I wanted for Christmas. Not necessarily for Jose to leave, but for us to improve, and I have no doubt that we will. I'm genuinely that confident. If he does fail, there is no pressure. He is not Zidane. He is not Laurent Blanc. Those the other coaches we're looking at, the Pochettinos. If they came in and failed right now, it would be massive on them. But he's a club legend. We all love him, And if he does fail, then that means that the players are just bad. It doesn't, but, I'm in such a good mood. All right. Anyway, let's get right into this thing. A bit of news before we go straight into the talking about the team and all that. Apparently, according to the Mirror, the board are backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with 50 million in the January transfer window to spend. And I can't remember the names. There were a couple players that we were linked to. Let me see if I can find them now. Forgive me for my absolute lack of prep. Forgive me, guys. Okay. Don't think I have it here. Oh, wait. Hold up. Wait a minute. Yes, 50 million budget in January, and the prime target apparently is Toby Alderweireld. So, my question is this. If that's the case, and we are really attempting to bring in Alderweireld, why didn't we just keep Jose? That's all we ever wanted. That's all we ever asked for. That right there bothers me. I'm not going to lie, that bothers me. That's all he wanted. Well, that's all he really, really wanted was a center back, a world-class center back he could play out the back. And that is Alderweireld top and bottom. Anyway, the deed is done, and we move on. So, obviously, as you see, Manchester United sits 6th in the league, 26 points. Not great form at all, to be honest. It's a mirror form, actually. Oh, man, it sucks. The fact that Cardiff have better form than us, I mean, technically they don't because we have, 8 points out of our last 6? They have 6 points. Manchester United, I don't even know what to say at this point. I can't really make a prediction or talk about, because I'm throwing everything that happened out the window. It's all gone. I know these are the same players. Nothing has changed really, but there's a different manager. And for me, in contrary to popular belief, I feel the manager changes a lot. The manager changes a lot for me personally. The confidence of the players, the energy around the training ground, it's a whole different thing. And also Mike Phelan's there as well, and he's got a lot of experience. He was a manager of Hull for a bit, so I think things will change for the better and in a big way. But yeah, like I said, I can't really give any, tactical nous on how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sets up his teams. According to Statman Dave, I did watch his video on how he believes he's going to set us up. And apparently he likes to play the 4-2-3-1 and can also play the 4-3-3. Apparently he's tactically fluid and is very adept at changing depending on the opposition. So that's good to know. But for this preview, I've gone with the 4-2-3-1, and you'll see my lineup and all that stuff in a bit. But before we get right into that, as you see, I got Rashford and Lingard listed as our top performers. Lingard, I believe, has scored in the last 2 games. And Rashford has just been on fire, really. And he always plays with passion and aggression and energy, which is something that we might see return to this team because we did have that. Like, we even had that in Jose's first season with the likes of Mkhitaryan was always running and pressing. Zlatan, not so much. Obviously, he's a lot older. But, there was a lot more energy in the way we played. Pogba, in his first season, especially coming straight from Juventus, was still very, was not, what's the word? But he made an effort to run at defenses more, which is something he did at Juventus. So, it kind of phased out of his game the more Mourinho coached him and played with him, which is sad. But I think he'll get that back. I think we'll embrace, or Solskjaer will embrace that, part of his game, because according to Statman Dave, he loves to play with the midfielder running into the final third, which is great. Excuse me, because that is one of Pogba's strengths. That's how he scored a couple of his goals in the derby. So that was brilliant. Anyway, as you see there, the injured / doubts. I got a new highlighted thing going on. Sanchez, Smalling, Shaw. Smalling and Shaw could be on the bench or even start, but it's not guaranteed. So that's why they're featured as doubts. And we all know Sanchez isn't going to be back until the new year. So that's something. Anyway, let's move into the lineups because there are no suspensions, thank the Lord. And let's talk about this lineup. Woo-woo. This is what I've gone with. I think this is the best team to start with. I know I said Rashford is a top performer, and I think he could very well start over Lukaku, to be honest, because Solskjaer loves his young players. The club he managed, he's on loan from. The club he manages in Norway is a feeder club pretty much for Europe, and a lot of big not giants, but decent sized clubs get their players from there, and he is very good at bringing their youth and embracing them, and really, I guess, was not exposing, but for lack of a better word, exposing their true talent, and it's a great thing. So I could very well see Rashford starting over Lukaku, and I could also see Tai Chong becoming a more permanent fixture, especially on the bench. Not necessarily starting, because he is still 17, 18 maybe, but I could definitely see him being brought into the fold a bit more. That would be great. But that right there, that team is solid. That's all I ever wanted to see. Even if we play a 4-2-3-1, which I feel is a bit of a pragmatic formation, you get players like Lingard, Mata, Herrera, who move the ball quickly and bring movement. If you play Rashford instead of Lukaku at the 9, Rashford brings movement. He spreads the defense, running in behind all the time, which is something Lukaku is good at. But I don't think Mourinho's system wasn't his plan to use Lukaku to his true strengths. His plan was to turn Lukaku into a bulked up. Not that he had anything to do. Lukaku has came out and said that was on him, that he bulked up this summer. But Lukaku at Everton and even his first season at United was a shredded, slim, quick, decent player who can run in behind. His first goal for Manchester United is a through ball for Marcus Rashford, and he finishes it near post. It was absolutely brilliant. But Jose wanted him to be that target man, Didier Drogba-esque type player, and that's not what he is. So, hopefully he returns back to his best, shreds a couple pounds, and becomes the beast that we all know and love. I think, Delo will become a permanent fixture in this team as well. Valencia might return. I could see that there a possibility for that, seen as, Valencia can cross the ball. And I don't know if his instructions came from Mourinho to be that defensive and pragmatic in the way he was playing right back. Because as far as I remember, Ivanovic wasn't that way. Ivanovic was very good at crossing the ball. And in my opinion, he had a year or two where he was the best right back in the league. So I don't know what happened to Valencia. Or I can't really see that being an instruction from Jose. Regardless, he's not good enough to even be a backup to Delo at this point. He doesn't attack very well at all. He could maybe be a 4th, 5th string center back at this point. He's very good defensively, but going forward, it's just an absolute joke. But this team right here, especially against Cardiff, I think is a good team to put out. They're not very, fluid in midfield. We don't have to really worry. We don't need that defensive midfielder. I think we may see a rise in Matic again under Solskjaer. But this is the team I think we need to see. You're going to get fluid football. It's going to be just, it's great. It's great. Hopefully Luke Shaw is fit. Otherwise than that, we all know Ashley Young will probably play left back. Or maybe Dimitri Mitchell might come back in January. That'd be great. That would be absolutely brilliant. I hope Solskjaer really shows the world the talent we have in the youth. I know Poch will do it if he does come next summer. I know he definitely will embrace our youth because that's something he's very good at. But I just don't know what to expect. So I'm kind of waffling. Forgive me. That's the lineup I've gone with. Like I said, wouldn't be surprised if Rashford started. And let's talk about Cardiff. So they sit 16th in the league, 14 points. After a very rough start, they won one of the first 8 league games, which is just absolutely not great at all. They've turned it around in recent weeks. As you see there, they've won 3 of the last 6 games, which is absolutely top stuff for a newly promoted side. One win coming against Wolves. I actually watched that game, the whole game. That was good. That was fair play to Cardiff. I didn't expect them to beat Wolves, I'm going to be honest with you. But they showed up. They had a bit of grit about them. And Neil Warnock is, I believe he's in his 70s. And, he knows football. He may not be the most flashy, enigmatic figure. But he definitely knows the game. He's kind of similar to Roy Hodgson in the sense that he's going to lock it down, and he'll know what to do. Now, in terms of their top performers, as you see, they got Hoylett and Patterson. Hoylett, I remember him at QPR. Apparently he played for Blackburn as well, but I don't really remember that. But I do remember him at QPR. He was also good in FIFA, I'll tell you that. Pace merchant. But the last couple goals he scored, man, absolute bangers. We got to watch out for him cutting in from the left and banging it top bin. He can finesse a ball top bin, or he can strike it. He's very crafty and nifty. So we definitely got to be careful of that. And Patterson is just a decent, solid forward. So maybe if Chris Smalling is fit, I would like to see him go up against Patterson because he's similar in the mold of, that hold-up striker who, will battle with you. So, that will definitely be a challenge for Lindelof. As we know, he's not great with dealing with those players. Eric Bailly could do a job, but he would just be undersized. I think he is capable. I believe he's 6'1", 6'2", and he can jump for days. He's very athletic. He's very, physically adept. But I could see it being a bit of a challenge. Patterson's a big dude. But moving on, as you see, their injuries / doubts. Ward, I believe, is a goalkeeper. Danny Ward, I think the former Liverpool man. Richards, don't know much about him, if I want to be honest, but he's a player they have injured. And Cunningham, don't know much about him either. But that's the top and bottom of Cardiff right now. Hopefully we just get back on it. We will be at their stadium. We will be at the Cardiff City Stadium. And, we're going to... So, an away game in Wales isn't easy. Not at all. But we really have to go out there and just show that we're better than what we have been putting out these last few weeks, last few months. Really the whole season, to be honest. Since we beat Leicester 2-1, we haven't really shown any... We haven't... This team this season has not at one point ever reached their full potential. Not at all. I wouldn't even say we reached it last season. I mean, mind you, we came second in the league, and that was by a record point margin because City did something that is probably never going to be done again. But I definitely think Ole will allow these players to be a bit more free. I think that's something they definitely needed to just go out there, especially for their first game, so he can see what you're really made of. Like, you watch TV and you see players play. Let them go out and just be free. If we win we lose, I highly doubt we'll lose. But I want to see them really give it their all and be free. And then you go from there. You make your changes, your slight little hiccups, you deal with them. But, I'm looking forward to it. I'm absolutely looking forward to it. I hope Paul Pogba gets the armband back because there's no reason he shouldn't be the captain of this club. I know he had his issues with Jose and all that. And people were really going at him about his ego, which is just an absolute joke. Gary Neville absolutely misunderstood his post. You telling me you genuinely believe that was his intention? It was obviously a sponsored post. Like, I mean, you don't know Pogba, you don't know football. These things, I guess, weren't as frequent back in his day, but Pogba has one of those at least a week where he's doing those type of things. So, you gotta be open-minded. Ian Wright came out and was, told Gary Neville, get his head on straight. I'm paraphrasing. But as much as Paul Pogba is flashy and a bit of a kid sometimes, he is smart. He's not going to do something that stupid. And I believe he is the man to take us forward. I think he is a future at this club now that Jose is gone. I believe Martial has a future at this club. And there was a story that broke this morning that De Gea is closing in on a new deal. So that's great. I'm going to actually see if I can find who reported that story. Forgive me. And as I'm recording this, the Solskjaer interview is now on MUTV, and I'm kind of upset that I'm missing it. But, you know, it happens. I'm trying to see where the story is. Okay. I guess it's not here. Oh, okay. Here we go. Who is reporting this? ESPN. According to the new report by ESPN, the 28-year-old David De Gea favors staying at Old Trafford instead of choosing a future away from the club with Juve or PSG, both of whom have been linked in recent weeks. There was speculation that De Gea needed convincing of United's capabilities to win a trophy after struggling under Mourinho, blah, blah, blah. De Gea was... Apparently, before Mourinho was sacked, De Gea was considering a new bumper deal. That's great stuff. That's good to hear. The likelihood of a move to Juve is dropping due to the former's So apparently these clubs aren't willing to give Juve and PSG are not willing to give Dave £350 a week, £350,000 a week, which is, you know, English Premier League is the most watched league in the world, and it makes the most money, so that's why the wages are so high. And unless you're a top player at the likes of PSG, who have all the money, so I don't understand that. Unless you're a top player at the likes of Juve, PSG, even in the Spanish league, you're not going to get the top dollar. And apparently they have faith in Areola and Buffon to carry on, so that's that. What I will say before I get out of here, because it's 17 minutes at this point, David De Gea, I think he loves this club now. I think he'll be here. I think he's going to do a bit of a Buffon. You know, he'll be here for a while. I could see him maybe going to Atletico or Real Madrid when he's like 35 or something like that, you know. But he loves this club. I think he loves Manchester, and he knows that we love him. We embrace him wholeheartedly. We never pick on De Gea. You know, for every bad game he's had about 20 good ones. So, you know, he's just unbelievable. And when he does mess up, obviously we notice it, but we're not going to kick him. You know, he's unbelievable, best in the world for me. Neuer is absolute crap these days. Oblak is up in the conversation for sure. And so is Keylor Navas, which is upsetting that he's kind of, you know, been pushed back by Courtois, who's having a stinker, to be honest. And speaking of Real Madrid, it looks like Jose might be heading back there. So that's something to think about. Anyway, this has been my preview. My prediction for this game, oh boy. I'm going to say 3-0. I could see us conceding, but then again, I can't. I just don't know what to think. I don't know how he's going to set us up, but I cannot wait to watch it. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to stick with 3-0. I'm going to say 3-0. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you are my man. Hopefully Lukaku bags. That's all I want. I want him to get back to top form. He's the most important player. And hopefully Pogba's just stringing passes, looking like Tom Brady out there. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's been your boy Dave. It's been Man United Talks. Enjoy the Christmas music. I am out of here.